Hello everyone, this is Yeeflex, and this is the behind the scenes video for my very first remix of Disturbed song Stricken. Yeah, today I'm just gonna talk about the normal stuff, the background, story, sound, how I made the song, why I made the song, and such. Um, enjoy 30 minutes of me talking and rambling about how I do it. Alright, so let's get into this. So, this is my very first remix of any song I've ever done. I'm pretty happy about this one. And um, I guess some of you might be wondering, why did I remix a metal song? Well, there are a few reasons. The first two reasons are like the actual reasons. The last reason's kind of random. I found it out while doing this, but the first reason is I love metal, so I just know these songs like the back of my hand. Because I used to listen to this a lot when I was a freshman in high school. So I used to just listen to Disturbed, Drowning Pool, Slipknot, Metallica, all the metal bands. Um, yeah, I used to listen to them, and that was pretty much my first like genre that I actually picked on my own. Because before I used to just listen to other music that people were listening to. I didn't really care about music. Uh, when I was younger, I used to listen to a lot of disco because my parents would listen to that on the radio, like 80s stuff, like Earth, Wind, and Fire and stuff like that. And then um, early 2000s ish, I used to listen to a lot of mainstream radio music, like early Lil Wayne and um, E40 and guys like that. But now, but when I was a freshman in high school, I found metal just by watching Transformers stop motion videos. If you don't know what stop motion is, it's basically like still frame animation. Basically, you take a picture, move an object a little bit, take a picture, and then do so many of that, and then make video out of it. But I used to watch a lot of those my freshman year, and some of the YouTubers that made the stop motions use metal, and I initially thought metal in the beginning was like, oh, dudes are screaming all the time. It's like, I'm gonna go kill someone. No, it's actually not that bad. I mean, some of the lyrics are that like that, but I mainly listen for the guitars because that's pretty much what got me into metal is the guitars. I couldn't really care too much about the singing, but the guitars are what got me, which leads me, yeah, which leads me into like why I did this particular remix. Honestly, ever since I started listening to EDM and uh, started listening to like I guess Monster Cat, I noticed that their genres and their artists that create music in those genres. Sorry for talking so slow, but basically the artists they kind of blend styles. It's not like traditional EDM. It's not like um, nowadays spinning records is big room, ultra is big room. You have Armada just doing trance, and you have all those guys doing like the mainstream big songs. But you know you go more into the underground on YouTube and you see people blending styles, and I like that. And my style that I've always wanted to do was create metal house. Now this sounds kind of stupid, but it's rather interesting because metal has this type of drive that um, could make you dance. It's just in a more aggressive, screaming way. But the guitars have this type of drive that I don't really know how to describe. It's just this, I don't know, it's this vibe off. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been wanting to do. Either metal house, which is metal incorporated EDM, which is the reason why I use the electric screamer a lot in a lot of my songs because it's the closest resemblance to mainstream to a electric guitar since I don't actually own one. So yeah, it's kind of cheating, but you know, yeah. But yeah, this is the music I originally listened to, and if there was any freaking song I would do, it would obviously be metal. And the last reason, which was kind of random, is because a lot of these songs are popular. So like, if you see here, this really big MIDI chunk, I actually didn't write all this MIDI. I kind of just went online, looked up Disturbed Stricken MIDI, and went to the first site and downloaded this MIDI. Like, so it's kind of cheating. Like, I created this part, but like this part I didn't really have to write out. I just cut out whatever I didn't need and pasted whatever I didn't need. But basically, a lot of the main, more popular metal songs already have the MIDI written out, so it's pretty easy to remix the songs. So yeah, those are the three reasons why I kind of created this remix. I've always wanted to remix too, because remixing in itself is an art. Like, you can make music, but to like really find your own style, I've heard that remixing's really good for that. But you need to do both as an artist, I feel, to actually kind of get somewhere in the industry, because you need to learn both sides. If you don't and you always remix, then you can't really get onto promo sites, I feel, because you don't have the full rights to the song. But as well as, if you only started making original stuff, you might not find like your specific sound as fast as if you remix. So it's kind of like a give and take thing. But yeah. So let's dive into this song. It's my water sound, but yeah, that doesn't work. Alright, so first off, the song starts off with this arpeggiator. I love this arpeggiator. It's called Talkin' Saws on Nexus. Basically sounds like this. To me, that sounds like a robot or something, like a flanging robot. Like, and that just kind of drones on in the beginning with the percussion. Have a kick laid down. Basically, this is like the first song I didn't use my Kenyan Yeeflex kick as the top kick, so it wasn't as clicky on the top, so I had to do some EQing to get it to click, which is why the 3's up here. I tried to take out a lot of the low end in the beginning, but later on I boosted it back up, and I think I shouldn't have done that because it's too big, but yeah, for my taste. Alright, you hear it, Jake. 4/4, 128 house. We have the hi-hats coming at 9 on 50 seconds. Now the hi-hats in this song are actually pretty interesting, because since I didn't write the MIDI, I was trying to experiment more with percussion and how to change it up and make it different every so often, and mess around with the MIDI from that. So I kind of just messed around with the percussion in the song, and in the beginning it's kind of like offset. It's like it's kind of like offset hi-hats, like real life percussion, I guess, except a little more exact. It's not consistent. Not like, it's more spread out, I guess you would say. In the song, the two major synths are the Nexus piano, which is the ballad grand piano, and the electric screamer. Now for this song in particular, I didn't EQ the electric screamer, I would say, properly, because in most metal songs the guitars are really full, So I kind of want to replicate that. So I didn't cut as much so the electric screamer could be nice and clean. I kind of wanted to have some bass end so it'd be a lot fuller. Even though it does conflict a little bit of the times with some of the other instruments, I wanted it to be fuller so it would have more of that metal drive to it. Yeah. And this is interesting too, so it's like I think the piano and the screamer together, they kind of coincide because some of the notes I didn't want the piano to play, so it kind of goes like dun 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 dun. So you hear like the message, and there's like a pause, but the screamer takes over. Yeah, that's a cool trick that I just found out while making the song. I don't have to have the piano going all at once. To me, it sounded a little too repetitive for the piano just to keep going as the same as the screamer while it's filtering up. So I wanted to change it up a little bit. So I just thought by doing that it made a difference of, I guess, to the listener or to me specifically, because I kind of design music so I personally will listen to it, because there's no sense in making music if you personally don't listen to it, because it's like, oh, I made crap that I'm not gonna listen to. It's like, what's the point? Well, other people listen to it, who knows? Like, maybe someone will like it, but if you don't, then there's no real point in making it. So that's how I did it. This is again, sounds like another farting sound. Takes up kind of the mid lows and low end. Then I have another organ that kind of takes up the lows and such. Another jump chord. Give it a little dirtier on the bottom, but you don't really hear it. I mainly hear these two, and then so basically the snare, the MIDI in this, it's something I heard in my head that I really wanted to write. So it's basically just I pitched the first snare at C in the third octave, and then back down to G. I think here it's like an octave lower, so it's like C2, because it sounded too thin. Oh no, actually, this one's in G in third octave, same octave, sorry. But I guess it's like within the same chord, or same, what is that called? The fourth, is it fourth? Same, I guess, chord or whatever. I can't remember right now, but it's within the same scale. So it worked out when you hear it, like, even though they're not like both C, because to me it sounded too thin. Yeah, that sounded good, so didn't sound thin and plasticky, sounded good enough. And then you hear the wow, that's basically a vocal chop of the singer. Oh, I might get this wrong. For some reason, I want to say his name is Dave Donegan, but I could be really wrong. I haven't searched Disturbed in a while, but this is the lead singer, because he in the Disturbed songs he tends to go wow or have some weird thing, like he does the screech thing. I can't do it. I can't go high pitch, but he's just like, I don't know. It's just kind of like wow. And I pitched that down to about 4, I believe. And then after it drops, it goes into this part. But as each break happens, I have this same vocal, but it goes up until it's about 0 on the transpose thing. So it was at like negative. It was at like -6 and -4 for the individual ones, and then back up to 0. And then I messed around with some other vocal stuff, as you will hear, as you've probably heard in the song. So it's like this, and like metal drum. So I start out with minimal stuff. Have this kick going. Then I raise it up. Basically, right here, I had the snare go up, so it'd be like bop bop brr. So basically that brr effect, it was basically it was making the notes go from okay, where is it? Making the notes go from all the way down from, what is this, E all the way up to C, just in consecutive, like, oh, is this 8 notes? No, consecutive 16 notes. So it's like brrr, so it gives it like that effect. With the vocal chop I did of the lead singer going wah. So it sounds like this part's probably my favorite part. So basically, I didn't write this MIDI. But this part of the MIDI I really liked because it was like the solo part. And this is where I first discovered this glitching in the MIDI. Like, I never even knew you could glitch the MIDI until I found this MIDI file. And I just kept it that way, the way it was written out by the person that recreated the song. And I thought it sounded amazing. So what I did first off is I started off with the electric screamer and the piano, and then later on added in the dance stuff. I think 15 seconds in, I think like it goes for like a couple bar, like 15 seconds, and then add in another 15 seconds to the dance leads, and then adds in this talking saw, that arpeggiator thing from the beginning. So it goes like it's basically him, he does this, but I repeat it. But I didn't want it to sustain, because you know how it start, you hear it's like wah, it has that pickup like wah. So basically I wanted to keep that, so I started with that and then cut like a portion of it, like let's just say this portion, I just put it like that and duplicated it, and then I did that, but I kept the end because the whole actual sample was only like this long, so I cut like this portion or this portion, but I kept this, but I moved it all the way to here so it would end, and then I cut the beginning again and then put it here so it would keep looping like that, so it would be like, it wouldn't sound as fake, so it sounds like he goes wah, and then like he stops and he has to take a breath and goes wah again, so like this. So yeah, this sounds like more natural and legit. It's not really like him just holding his like wah for like ever and ever, which is like unrealistic because as most people, we need to breathe every once in a while. So yeah. So that's basically it. I think I have 2 of them going on. And that goes on. So the progression. So for this part, I actually, for the sustaining wah thing, I actually took out the breaks, so it would be that one long sustaining note that is pretty unrealistic for someone to hold their breath for like 30 seconds or a minute without needing to breathe, especially that high pitched. But basically, I just took those and did that, stretched it out till it ends at around the time of the riff. But I also added the vocal, the original acapella in, or the club studio acapella. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I found this on YouTube, kind of YouTube, the convert the sample, and got it here and chopped up the vocal later on, but used this vocal and matched it to the BPM of the song, or the beats per minute, which was 128. And so I did that, and that took a little while to get in because I'm not used to working with vocals all that much. But with the notes are supposed to be like progression, like ba ba ba, like this, like. So originally this part, the really top notes for the progression, I used to have, like when I first made the song, I had them like really loud. And a key tip for like you guys know, like if you are gonna do like this like progression thing and you want to go into like the 5th octave or 6th octave, but you don't, but the vocal you have like matches that kind of timbre and range, what you could do is bring the velocity down on the notes that you put on so they aren't as harsh and clashing. That's just a little tip I picked up from this, because to me, my ears, like they were clashing and it was really annoying me. So I was like, I wonder how I could fix this. I tried lowering the volume, it didn't make a difference. So I tried lowering the velocity finally and found out that actually improved it. Like there's still the sound, but it's just not as harsh and conflicting with the vocal. So cut it here to make it more epic, and then do the snare. So basically the snare thing, like it's just basically what I did earlier, except it's a lot longer. It's like probably like almost an octave, like yeah, it goes all the way from A sharp to C sharp. That's almost an whole octave in itself. That is like almost, that is more than an octave up. because it starts on A sharp and it ends in C sharp. Yeah, it's like more than an octave up, because A sharp is like right here, so that's already an octave up, but it goes 3 notes up, so it's more than an octave up. But I wanted to do that because I wanted to make the intro thing more interesting, or the kind of lead into the drop more interesting. So it's like, yeah. I can't let you go. So this part I did a lot of stuff. So now it's just the 4/4. Because I really wanted to do something, like I want to do like kind of like a headbang breakdown thing. It was like boom, 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 and it actually switches up throughout the song, so it's kind of a little different for the 2 times it goes. As you can hear, it's kind of like here. It's like dun 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 dun. It goes boom, 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 yeah. It switches. Then it does this whole snare thing. Basically how it it goes into that part. So during this part, it's actually in this part in the beginning, the vocal for this goes, and then the go keeps going. It goes throughout until about the switch up, then the vocal cuts off. It's pretty loud, but then the volume goes down to like indicate like fading out. To make an extended mix anyways, and for people that do mixes, if they want to use the song in a mix, I might as well give them the version that they can use to mix, because I hate the artists, kind of like Vice Tone, like half the time they give out like their radio edits, or they feature their radio edits, and it's kind of hard to find the extended edits if you don't download it in time, or they don't give you the extended edits and they just give you the radio edits, so you can't use it to mix. So personally, I'm not a big fan of that, so I thought I'd just give whoever wants to download the song the extended mix. So I played around with this part's pretty cool because I did a lot of vocal chopping. So basically like ow except as it goes through it pitch down. And then right about here it just and then I did a double ow ow to go coincide with the kick when it does like a double kick. And then right here pitches down. Basically in Ableton, if you want to pitch down, you can just take this vocal sample, cut it, and then transpose it. You know, when you cut it, you press Control E, so it's in a separate audio clip, and then you just transpose it using this transpose thing here. You could pitch it using the pitch bend tool, but I like to manually transpose stuff because that's how I learned in the first place how to do all this stuff when I was teaching myself and experimenting. So yeah, I just kind of do it manually without using a pitch bend and doing it all by ear. So yeah, that's pretty much this remix. I'm already 30 minutes in, but yeah, that's pretty much all there is for the remix. Nothing too spectacular about the MIDI, but the other stuff like the vocal chopping and the vocal extending and the hi-hats and percussion, the percussion mainly, and the vocals, I really like that. And I was glad I found the MIDI though, because I love that glitching the MIDI effect. I mean, I use that so much now. Basically, from this track, I just copied the MIDI and then pasted it onto another project, and I've been using that. Like the Journey Through Icon, I use that when it goes into the dance parts, like yeah. So yeah, it's really fun, and I would recommend for any people if they want to try remixing, should try it. Although I would say if I didn't have the MIDI files, I don't think I would be able to remix the song because I'm not good at recreating the MIDI to match the original song. So I give major props to people that can do that. Major props for people that recreate these projects. Major props. Talented in their own way. But yeah, so that's basically everything I need to talk about for this behind the scenes video. And yeah, if you guys have any more questions or anything, or concerns or comments and stuff, just leave a comment or shoot me a personal message or whatever. I'm down to talk or give you advice, or just say some random stuff and be like, yeah, blah 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 blah. I feel like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't. I'm just kidding. I know some stuff. I don't know everything. I'm still learning. But yeah, alright guys. This is the behind the scenes video for the Metal House song Stricken by the awesome Distrubed. And hopefully I'll be doing more remixes of metal songs. Yeah, I'm not into all the mainstream songs like Drake and that crap on the radio, but yeah, I'll remix metal songs because I personally like metal songs and can find the MIDI for it. So yeah, alright, well, have a good day, and this ends my 3 behind the scenes video series thing that I was kind of doing. And until next time I make a track, the behind the scenes video will be there, so you'll hear my boring voice again. Yeah, alright, see you guys.